What's up and good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to another video. We are here at the warehouse today and we're gonna change it up a little bit from the current series that we've been doing on all of the ranch projects. We're gonna go back to a little bit of old school, kind of what started and blew this channel up, and that was some truck stuff. It's not gonna be a very long video, but I wanna show you guys a really cool truck that's been getting worked on in the shop. Zach, Sergio, myself, Swift Powder, a bunch of companies came together. Elevated Motorsports, this thing is gonna be super cool. And I feel like it's a very practical truck that a lot of people are gonna be interested in. The owner just showed up today. He has not seen it in person yet, and I'm excited. Let's go inside the warehouse and let's reveal his new truck to him. Now, I showed you guys this truck a little bit when we were in here working on the Rhino Ranch gate project, but she was in pieces. We had just put a few things on. Zach and I were here late last night till about midnight, getting all of the final details. Sergio was in here this morning, getting the last little bit of wiring done, and oof, this truck just turned out so sexy. I'm excited to show it to you. And what I like about it is it's practical. It can still be a daily driver, and it's not like through the roof expensive. That's why I wanted to show it to you guys, because it's something a lot of you guys would probably want to do to your trucks and or take inspiration from. There, let's go grab the owner. You ready, buddy? Are you ready for the debut?
Yeah.
Everybody,
so.
Danny, everybody. Been long awaited.
Yeah.
I want to take you through the front though. Danny just said his last truck, the lift kit, the tallest he's ever gone is 5.5 inches. He's been nervous. It's 7 to 9 kit. I actually think we had to kind of max it out for the 37s to clear on these newer trucks. So it's gonna be the tallest truck he's ever had. You guys know I'm from the 12-inch and up club. One of the things I've learned with trucks is lift it bigger than you think, because within like 2 weeks it feels normal to you. Yeah. So Danny's a little bit nervous. It's gonna be the tallest truck he's ever had, but I think you're gonna like it. Where's the truck going actually? Let's talk about that for a second.
We're going to SEMA. It's gonna be in the Flog booth.
There you go. The homies over at Flog. Talk about Elevated Motorsports.
I work with Anthony. Been working with him. Set everything up for me so far. Super cool to work with. Super helpful. The best way to go about it. Go through somebody like Anthony. Try and do it all yourself. Like I tried initially and no, so Anthony helped me out. I can't wait.
I told you guys before, I've walked you through the process of hiring a build manager for SEMA, and it just makes life easy. Shell out a little bit extra money, but in the end, it really opens up opportunities you probably wouldn't be able to do for yourself. So having a build manager is the way to go. That's what Danny did. Jeez. What do you think, buddy?
Oh, better than I thought.
Well, we actually have a good height comparison, because we have Chris's truck, which is like kind of a 6-inch, but obviously the 1500s always sit lower. So you go from about a 6-inch to pretty much we're sitting at 9 inches. 35s to 37s. How tall are you? Let's get a height reference.
5'11".
Okay. And these newer trucks, the cabs are bigger, everything's bigger, so they already look taller than the previous body styles. Take it all in, take it all in. We didn't really have time to like fully wipe her down, and I also don't like doing that to other people's paint. If you see a smudge or two, it's that damn GM undercoating that gets on everything. Initial reaction to the height.
It's a lot taller than I thought it was gonna be, but I actually really like it.
Let's get her pulled out. We'll go through everything that's been done to it. We're having Danny pull this thing out into the daylight. Woo, she is looking good. Truck looks absolutely beautiful, turned out awesome. Danny, give us a walkthrough, tell us everything that went into this truck, because there's a lot.
Flog bumpers, front and rear, and it's the Flog Demon.
Yep, the Demon series.
Demon series, all the lighting is diodynamic. I did the 7 to 9 McGoys. Instead of running the McGoy shock, I did the Fox Resis.
Talk about your powder coating, because one thing you don't see a lot of people just do straight one color. It's because it's easier and it's probably a lot cheaper on the powder coating, but yeah. Obviously your powder coater did all these little accents on the insides of the front grille, and you'll see some more accents as we go down, but little details like that, man, it goes a long way.
Something I haven't seen a whole lot on yours, a little bit, but yours had
we double stacked mine to get that look.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to find powder coaters that'll do that. Not a lot of guys will do that. If you don't mind me asking, I mean, what would you guess that cost more wise to do versus just doing it one color?
Well, I went through extreme powder coat up in the high desert where I'm from. Super cool people. He definitely hooked it up. Taking that extra step is definitely more expensive, because the powder coat itself is a two-stage powder coat. So you shoot it once and then you have to go back and do it again.
Right. So
trying to shoot it twice over the black, it definitely costs a little bit more, but super happy with how it came out. Something different you don't see a whole lot. Yeah.
Well, let's keep coming down for the powder coat. We'll look at the drop down bracket with the McGoys doing the two-tone accents. It's one of those things that you can take a lift kit that a lot of people have and you can dress it up and make it look that much cooler. Just take the time. You know, they show up powder coated. Everything comes black for the most part. Take a couple of pieces to the powder coater and it makes it look
Absolutely.
awesome. I mean, this truck, just a little bit of blue accents you did was just enough to actually make it look like super custom.
Oh yeah. And with this color, I haven't seen this color out before. The guy that did it, he actually said he's never done this color. If you look at it closely, it has like a sparkle to it as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just like a light blue, it has like kind of some sparkle. And
looks killer. Tell us about your A-pillar lights. What do we got going on?
So these are 5-inch. They're not just lights themselves. They actually have the RGB color in the back of them. So you could set them to an array of different colors. Just an extra little accent if you're sitting at a show or something, turn them on, extra color everywhere else. And it's a decent match to this blue.
These brackets were rated to hold, I think, what, 3-inch or 4-inch?
I think it's 4.
Yeah, and these are 5s?
They're 5.
Yeah. They work. We found out they work. But I actually really like the size. On the Bronco, I've got the little like 3-inch A-pillar lights, and I don't like them. I love seeing the giant ones like this. I think it looks super awesome. Do you have the grill painted, or is that how it came from the factory?
That's how it came from the factory, and then I painted the logo in the middle.
Gotcha.
So I bought a black one, put it in. I didn't like the chrome because there's no chrome on the truck anywhere. So I painted it white to match somewhat close to everything else.
Looks good. Looks good. What wheel tire setup do we got?
So these are the TIS 556BA, I believe. They have a couple different end numbers on them, so I think it's a BA. They are a 20x10 with a -19 offset. I didn't want them to stick out too much because I go out camping in the desert, stuff like that. I don't want to have a bunch of rock chips from always going down dirt roads. I live in the high desert, so the roads aren't the greatest. And then 37 1350 20 TIS branded Hercules tires. I haven't seen these ones on the road before. Heard good things about them, but kind of excited to see how they.
Yeah, these are super new to us. I really do like the wheel tire combo. It looks aggressive enough for the style of truck that you went with. Not too crazy, not too flashy, but I like the black spikes as well. It just kind of ups the cool factor of it.
And those two, like, I don't want to go too long with them because the wheel doesn't stick out a whole lot. So I kind of want them to be somewhat flush with the end of it. So
yeah, I've seen people with like 5-inch spikes that stick way past the wheel. It looks ridiculous.
I already had amp steps on it. I have next level matting actually ready to go to put on them. That's gonna be a surprise though.
Okay, okay.
And then on the way back, we did traction bars in the back. Just kind of something to, you don't have to do those, but something to kind of add extra to it. And then if you tow, like I'm gonna be doing, I want to actually have the extra support on the rear axle. Ready lift, Logic airbags. Same thing, like I said, with towing, with being lifted, it's gonna squat a little bit. So I put those back there. I had airbags that sat between the frame and the axle before. They were cool, but when you're going this high, instead of buying a big old bracket, you can put these ones on that sit right on top of the leaf spring.
So this is the first time it's the first time I've ever seen a dual airbag setup. I mean, you've had this, obviously this was on it before you brought it to us.
Yes.
How do you like that setup?
I like it a lot better. It actually rides a lot smoother than the other bags I had.
Okay.
We run 10 PSI in these minimum. The other ones were 5. And running more air, I actually notice it's smoother than running 5 pounds in the other one. So I don't know if it's because they sit on top of the spring, so it lets the spring kind of move and it's not constantly bouncing on it. I don't really know the idea behind it, but I'm a big fan.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm assuming boost auto?
Absolutely.
For all of your little marker lights. What are those, Recons? Or the
those, I'm gonna be honest with you, those are Amazon.
Okay.
So it doesn't always have to be big name brands and stuff. These builds get a lot more expensive very, very quick than you might think.
Especially when you sign up for SEMA, because it's all at once or nothing.
Yeah.
You don't get to slowly build your truck. You just have to drop all the money at once.
Exactly. It's not one of those things too that building a truck for SEMA and everybody's just, hey, here's everything for free. Like I paid for, except for the lighting, and then I have a Banks exhaust on here and the Banks diff cover in the back. Those were full sponsors, 100% free, but everything else on here, I paid a large portion of. But yeah, it's not one of those things, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then everybody starts giving you free parts.
Everybody thinks that's what it is, but they find out the hard way.
And I have a new hitch coming. Actually, it's here. It's getting powder coated. That's gonna be changed. That's gonna be bigger than this one.
There you go. And then you guys are probably gonna spot this hole right here for these rear lights. Unfortunately, the wrong ones got sent, so those will be getting put in properly later. It's all pre-wired thanks to Sergio. We'll show you guys the switch panel inside in a second. Sergio went ahead and while Zach had the truck torn apart, Sergio came in, got a bunch of measurements. He built an entire wire harness for this whole thing. and then installed the harness. And then as we were going and installing things like the front bumpers or the A-pillar lights, all we were doing was just plug and play. Like Sergio came in clutch kind of after hours and snuck in and got a lot of behind the scenes work done on this thing. And it turned out pretty freaking awesome. One thing I didn't know, I don't have a very new truck in terms of like these days and ages, but like we were super confused on this hole in these bumpers. But apparently on these newer GM trucks, they have these proximity sensors. I'm assuming it's for your lane or blind spot monitoring. But Flog has a like perfect spot for those things to just pull them out of your old bumper, clip them on in, and you're pretty much good to go. It almost looks factory. Of course, the Banks diff cover, I still call that style the Dmaxryno version, even though they never wanted to call it the Dmaxryno version. Is that the Black Ops or whatever it is?
Black Ops.
Yeah.
I get it powder coated the same, but I like the subtle touches throughout the whole truck. I didn't want the whole truck to be blue, everything to be blue. I like the even mix between black and blue to kind of break it up. Because like I said, I still go out in the desert and through the dirt. And
that's one of the things, again, I wanted to show you guys this truck because it's really nice. He's got a lot of the touches I love on a truck, but you can use it. And like, that's a huge thing that a lot of people put too much money into their truck, go too wild with it, and then they're scared to use it. He made all the right decisions. Again, not going with a super wide wheel, so he's not just peppering the side of his truck, doing little bits of color. I like having a lot of black underneath the truck. That's why we did it on Papa Rhino's truck, because unless you want to get on there and wipe down, you know, white or any color of powder coat, it's just not going to look good over time. Black, it just always looks good. You get a little bit of road grime on it, but it always looks good. All right, let's jump inside. Let's show them your switch panel. Now, this one was new for us. We've never worked with one of these switch panels. Everybody probably knows Switch Pros. Very common name out there, however, very, very expensive as well. This one is from, what is it, OxBeam?
OxBeam, yeah.
OxBeam, and it's kind of like a clone Switch Pros. So we left the little things off because we wanted you to decide. They give you like some weird looking images. I figured we'll let you pick what you want. Sergio was thoroughly impressed. It comes with circuit breaker, the like box. So basically everything plugs into a box underneath the hood, and then you run one wire up to wherever you want to mount this switch box. So it's really nice and convenient. You don't have to have 50 wires running up underneath your dash, especially in these newer trucks. It's hard to run wires. It's not like the old days. So having everything conveniently run under the hood and then one wire running up to here is really nice. If you want to turn the ignition on. So it's backlit. You can change the color, I believe, of the backlighting. It's like a memory, basically. So if you have all your lights turned on, you can turn them all off, and then you can hit the on button and it'll turn everything back on the way you last left it. We opted to mount it up here. How do you like it? I know we were going back and forth on the mounting locations.
Yeah, I like it. I thought it was going to be like a bracket that kind of came off the way it sounded, but I like this a lot.
Super clean.
When I'm driving, you're not even going to look at it.
Yeah.
Instead of putting it in here and you need it and you got to pull this up and try to grab them. That's
yeah. So Danny didn't want it anywhere like too out in the open that you're looking at. I think this is perfect, especially with these black headliners. It just kind of blends in, other than all the backlighting that they put on it. But there's probably a way to turn the backlighting off. It's got a lot of features and functions on it. It's kind of a cool little thing. And I don't know, what'd you pay? I think they're like $1.80.
I think this one is either 180. It was the higher of the three.
Okay.
It's eight switches, and then it's backlit, and I think this one runs off Bluetooth off your phone.
Yep. So 180 for that versus like,
I think it's 5 or 6 or something like that.
I think the Switch Pro is almost 800, depending on the features you get. It's tough to beat. You know, if you're Robbie Gordon and you're going out in the middle of the desert and you need like 100% reliability, like maybe spend the $800. But for the normal guy, this thing's awesome. And again, Sergio was very impressed when we were opening and unboxing this thing at what he was seeing. I mean, it's sealed, watertight exterior. This thing has like a little waterproof cover if you're putting it in your Polaris or something and you want to wash it.
Also with the lighting, I'm running Ryan's Work For It rock light.
These things are very, very bright. Fortunately, we don't have any night shots, but send me some night shots.
Oh, definitely.
Tonight, and this should be in this video. And we went with 16. The higher the truck up, the better it looks too with rock lights, I've noticed over the years. Alrighty, y'all, that's another one out the door. If you guys are gonna be at SEMA, go check that thing out in person. Turned out super, super sick. Other news, Chris's truck. Chris's truck has officially sold. So if any of you guys are in the market and you wanted it, sorry, you snoozed, you lose. His truck is sold. It's gonna be going to a completely other state. I believe tomorrow, transport is showing up for this thing. He called me up to grab a bunch of measurements to see if it's gonna fit in whatever trailer this thing's going in. I got no idea. It's gonna be sad to see this one go. We put a lot of work in this one. I did all this bed cutting right here to fit this super, super clean Dirt King rear bumper. I mean, I've never chopped the truck up this much in my life. I was super nervous. I mean, look at these cuts. Like this, That's pretty gnarly. There's no template for that, to do that good and do that right. I don't like to pat myself on the back too much, but I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Now, we do have some more announcements coming in the very, very near future, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But for now, we're gonna wrap up as always. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please click the subscribe button now that you do not miss out on any future content. Don't forget to give this video a like, a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out workforapparel.com, because if there's anything you want in this life, woo, it is bright. You gotta be willing to work for it. You guys are the best. I'm out.
Damn.